Welcome everyone. My name is Paula Phillips, also known as JournalArtista, and it's Saturday night. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween to everyone. And we're over here live on Ustream.tv. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is a live show that's recorded with a live chat. So the people I'm talking to, sometimes I talk to myself, and other times I talk to people in the stream. So you're more than welcome to join us every Wednesday and Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So Wednesday we did some alcohol ink. We did a book review of the well, I cleaned today and I already put it away. It's called Pigments of Your Imagination by I think Cynthia Taylor. Somebody in chat's gonna remind me. And we used some Patty Tully Parish stencils from istencils.com and Yupo paper. Thanks my friend Mickey who gave me the Oh, look at the backs. That's kind of cool. And so we used some stencils and alcohol inks, and these are how they turned out. I know that, excuse me, I know that my recording, I'm gonna turn my volume down on my phone. I know my recording again was messed up. I'm not sure why. I tried to do a couple things. I tried to do a couple of things to, sorry, family stuff. Okay, so I tried to do a couple things. I updated Flash. I changed my screensaver. Uh, Kathy Taylor. Sorry, the book Pigments of Your Imagination by Kathy Taylor. Um, so I apologize, something wrong. I'm gonna work it out. I'm gonna contact customer support and see what's going on with my recordings. So what a wonderful and easy technique and awesome results, if I do say so myself. This was the result of the wax paper. You can see some of the texture from the wax paper. It definitely needs, I think, some more colors. Uh, needs something else. I probably used colors that were too similar. I should have used an orange with this or something like that. So, but hey, I'm happy for it. Happy with them. Excuse me. I also did that one more um, over here. If you remember the first one I did with the wax paper, it didn't turn out so well. So then I put on all this blending solution and blah blah blah. So it dried fully, and now what I did just before I pressed record is I put on this Seth Apter stencil from stencilgirlproducts.com, and I put some more blending solution, alcohol blending solution on top of this, and we're letting it dry. Gotta let it dry with the stencil on, so we'll see what it's gonna look like a little bit later during the end of the show. So it is Halloween, so I'm gonna do a Halloween inspired page. Um, it's going to start with a background, then we're going to color some elements. I guess I'll use my clean colors live for the first time, or maybe the second time I use them, but I've got some elements that I'm going to add to the page that I want to color. But we're going to start with a stencil background. This is just white. Just before I hit record here, I did add a little bit of white to it, so I just need a second to dry it. Heat gun. Hi, Paige. Yeah, and I don't know how the screensaver thing started popping up, because it never did before. Like, my screen would go black every once in a while, but not like, I don't know. We'll see. It's very frustrating, and I apologize. All right. So the background, I want to do a creepy background, like a creepy sky, and I've got a couple different stencils that are trees, skeleton type trees. If we remember, a month ago or so, we did this page, and I didn't do anything on top of it. I had the hottest mess in the background. I mean, the hottest mess going. And I messed it up and I had black. So I tried to spray it. Originally, this is what happened. I used the stencil that I got on clearance at Michael's. I forget who makes it. So the black that's in this background was actually this stencil. So if you see, I could probably put it right back where it was. And I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. It didn't turn out right. This stencil just had too big, like it was just too the trunks were too thick, so that didn't go so well. So I used a Mary Beth Shaw stencil from Stencil Girl on top in white, pushed everything to the background. We kind of saved the page. This is what that one looks like. Again, this is Stencil Girl products. You just have to go over there and look under Mary Beth Shaw's designs, who's the owner of Stencil Girl. And then we splatted some yellow on top. Hey, Kathy. So, anyways, I'm going to start with the same thing. This time, I mean, I started with all different colors in the background of that one, and then I tried to put black over it. Well, that didn't go so well. So this time, we're going to do a few different things. Oh, I'll show you the stencil. So I have that one I just showed you with the ginormous trunk, right? Which could be cool, because I'm guessing if you think of a, maybe you guys can help me here. Hey, CB. If, so the trees in the foreground would be bigger than trees in the background, or vice versa. Anyways, I also have, we might not use that one because the trunk is really big and it might be not the right thing for what I'm trying to do. But I do have this one, and now it's black because you can't see it. You won't be able to see it. This is a Crafter's Workshop stencil, or, well, it's actually a mask here. And so this is cool. This is kind of creepy. These are cute, perfect trees, and these, you know, this Dilutions journal. This is the old Dilutions journal, not one of the new ones with the good paper. So which is why I always kind of have to start with some type of background. But this is a cool stencil. I need to use that one for sure. But I also have this Crafter's Workshop stencil, and this tree is also creepy cool. Right? So we've got one. I mean, this one has a little bit of foliage on it, and this one, and they're gonna get. I'm gonna get ticked off because they're gonna get all stuck together here in a minute. So maybe I want to have this one over here, and then we can put, you know, another layer and have this one on top. Maybe this one. Which ones? I think I'm gonna do this one, and then I might freehand. I think I might freehand one. We'll see how this goes. You know how it works over here. And then of course I have the Stencil Girl, the Mary Beth Shaw one. The Mary Beth Shaw one here too. So I've got lots of options. Lots of options. Like I said, the problem is, I know my friend Kathy the other day was streaming, and she used the negative of this. She used the stencil to the mask of this other one. I wish I had that sometimes, because the mask is going to be tricky. Anyways, let's use this. I haven't used this bad boy in a long time. All right. So I think I'm going to, let's see, don't worry about that. That's okay. So I'm going to start with a little bit of gesso. I think I will keep some of it, you know, to show the ground a little bit, but because it's flat, oops, sorry if I'm not on camera here. It's this stencil in particular, mask, is flat at the top, so I got to make sure that that's at the top of the smaller trees. Go to the back. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Darcy. Well then that, talking to myself. We're just gonna go with this, and I'll worry about that other one later. Okay, let's get some gesso on this bad boy. So I am actually going to use a palette today, which, you know, right, it's not normal for me, but we shall. I might have to mix some red and yellow to make orange over here. Shocker. Hi, Pearlan. It's good to see everybody tonight. So I got a makeup wedge. Now, you know what I need to do before I do that? I need to get some washi tape, and I'm just going to put a little bit of washi tape down here so my stencil doesn't shift so much. And, well, maybe I can put a little bit up there if I just sneak it in up there. Because this stencil, once I start going with this, can never have too many tree stencils, eh? I don't think. I might attempt to draw one later. All right, so I got a little bit of something, maybe one over here. Yeah, clocks change tonight too for a lot of us. Okay, that's not till 2 a.m. though. So I'm gonna start at the base, I think. So I'm really gonna be careful to pounce up and down, because you know this stencil is flying over here, so you gotta be careful. I have to be careful, extra careful not to get it underneath the stencil, which means I may have to hold it in some parts. So my idea for this particular, I want the tree to be black, right? So as I work on the sky here, the sky behind the tree, I want to have the tree black. And I just blend that out a little bit. The problem with using some makeup wedges like this, did I just mess that up? Is that you kind of get that rectangular shape, right? So I may just have to blend some of that out a little bit later. Well, yeah, it closes. It changes at 2. I usually stop around 11:30 or midnight. I guess the thing too with taping it down like this, then I can't take a peek. I can't, no sneaky peeks on this one. But we can blend that out with something else later. So just kind of like a thin layer. Well, to be honest, it depends. There's so many different things I'm going to do with this page. Hopefully we can keep it to 2 or 2.5 hours. Oh boy. I think I might have to remove the tape at the top so I can take a peek. Because, you know, I want to make sure that it's opaque enough, I guess is the right word. Because, well, let me rewind. A Scary Sky kind of does have that misty look, you know, so I know that there's some spots here that are translucent that'll still be cool. So I'm not too worried about whether it's perfect. It's probably better if it's not perfect. So I'm just going to put some more gesso. This is actually a wet baby wipe. I just want to maybe try to blend out some of this stuff. We're going to add other layers, so, you know, I'm not too worried. I'm probably more worried about the marks, the rectangle marks the baby wipe left than anything. Now, you could do this with inks, right? You can get out your spray inks, and, you know, there's white distress spray. Well, I think it's actually called Picket Fence. And then Dilutions has one too. But the thing with some of the sprays, some of the things I want to do on top, I don't necessarily want to have the sprays show through, right? Because I'm going to put yellow and orange and other colors on top of here. And if I sprayed yellow and orange, later on, if I want to put more white in there, it's going to come up. So this is gesso. It could be either white paint or white paint or gesso, doesn't really matter. Just what I had close to me. And look, I've glued it, I've stuck it right down. Can't even take it up. What the devil's going on here? Fasten. Alright, so let's take a peek. Oh, looks pretty creepy so far. Okay, we lay it back down. Checking the chat for a second. Alright. I think I need some a little bit more over in the corner here. So that's what I'm going for. Going for a little misty, a little scary. This Halloween page, right? Trying. I'm really, normally I don't have a plan for what I'm doing, right? I'm always kind of just going off flying by the seat of my pants. Well, that's not usually the truth. I usually have an idea of what technique I'm using, but maybe not where the page, maybe a vague idea on a theme. But tonight, I really have a good one. So I'm really trying to plan out how I wanted my page to look. I didn't try to do it before, but I really did put some thought into what I was going to do tonight. So let's hope it all works out. I didn't do a trial run. Maybe I should have did a trial run. This reminds me of the old sponge painting rag that we did. What was that, in the 90s? Late 80s? Painted our walls. All the different colors. All right. But I do want the light to center, like really to come out behind the tree. So I'm gonna dry this, and then I'm gonna add a little bit more white concentrated over here. Heat gun. Just as a preview, we're gonna incorporate some of the Tim Holtz crazy birds. What kind of birds are they called? Eileen sent me some stamped images. Silly birds? Oh, the marble with the feather? This is Crafter's Workshop. I hope it's not one of the ones that's retired, because I've had it for a while. All right, so a little bit more. Hi, Gail. Good to see you. Yeah, wonderful. Bird crazy. Thanks, Jean and Sherry. Yeah, so I'm going to use some bird crazy birds, which I'll attempt to color with my clean color brush. I'm taking a page out of Jean's stream from Monday. Was that Monday? Oh man, busy week. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in with my baby wipe here. Again, I'm not trying to twist. I want to just go straight up and down, so I preserve. Not too much paint goes under the stencil. So this is definitely a thicker layer, and let me tell you, this isn't exact science. Let me tell you. Like I said, I'm going to be adding some oranges and reds and maybe some black back into this, so bear with me for a bit. My only worry about this page is that I'm going to like it so much. I'm going to like this background so much I won't want to put anything on top. All right. Heat gun again. Didn't you color those birds on Monday? Wasn't that this Monday, Jean? Heat gun. Remember? And then you put all the dies. You couldn't figure out which die was for the stamps. No, I don't exactly, Rain. One of my mottos is you can't be afraid of covering up something that you love. I thought so. All right. I was gonna say it's been a busy week, but all right, let's take a peek again. Oh, still looking good. Okay, make sure it goes back the same way. This is a tricky stencil. Oh, Veronica. Veronica's giving us baseball spoilers. Oh no, Mets are beaten. Oh, it's got to be still early. I've got it recording the baseball game. All right, now let us add some yellow. And yellow is a tricky color. I'm the first to admit. So that's why I got out the palette. I'm going to mix this yellow. This is Liquitex Basics Cadmium Yellow Hue, Light Hue. And it says that it's translucent. Well, you know. So I'm going to mix a little gesso. And peeked at my Christmas presents. Oh boy. So I'm going to put a little bit of gesso and a little bit of the yellow. And hopefully it will become a little bit more opaque. But I mean, I got a bunch of we already got that base coat, so that should help a little bit. So I think I'll just continue using the baby wipe. It seems to be a nice soft look. All right. It is, doing the crumpled up baby wipe is definitely giving it a misty, creepy look. Yeah. Oh, this is number. If you want to search it, this Crafters Workshop number is TCW249, if that'll help you Google it. But I do know that the Crafters Workshop retired a bunch of designs a while ago now. Because I'm pretty sure they retired some of Julie Faye Van Balzer's designs. I remember when that went down. Oh, I can see where it moved there. Hold the fort. Yeah, you gotta peek, Jean, because you gotta see the progress. Boy, this baby wipe's getting a little goopy. It wasn't dry when I started it. It was wet. So but again, I guess I want it really vibrant by the tree, by the trunk of the tree. They're discontinued stencils. Thanks, Gail. No matching products found. Sorry, my friends. Guess someone needs to design some tree stencils in the future. So this is a very light yellow. So what I think I'm going to do before I go into the deeper orange, I'm going to do a little bit of white and a little bit of white, excuse me, a little bit of the yellow and a little bit of the red. Well, I like some of the people on I think I'm rooting for Kansas City. What was last night? I have been for the past 3 games anyways, but they made some silly mistakes last night, that's for sure. All right. So we got a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow. I'm just going to lightly at first get some of the orange peeking through. And that's the thing with sprays. I mean, you'd get a cool effect with sprays, but it would be just a different effect. Different. Probably just as cool, just different. Got a little bit over here. I'm not going to go as far with the orange as I did the yellow. And I didn't dry that yellow just so that the red, because I'm using red paint, not orange, just so the red mixed even more into an orange rather than, not that red's bad. Actually, adding some like darker red might be pretty cool. My stencil is moving. Let's take a peek. Oh yeah, definitely. Let's see. I think I'm gonna add, see over here, it's not kind. I need to press harder in some of there and then maybe, yeah, talking to myself. So what I need to do around the trunk here, I think I'm gonna go in with the makeup wedge again and so that it's darker there and then soften it with the baby white. Thanks guys. Like I said, I may like it so, the background so much I may not want to. So I'm mixing Americana craft paint because I bought this true red. Americana was on clearance at Michael's. They're at my Michael's, they're not selling it anymore. You know, I'm in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So anyways, I'm trying to use that, but I'm mixing the craft paint with the student grade Liquitex Basics. You know, I believe in using what's around me lots of times, so does Artist Seller have it? Well, I'm not sure how many Crafters Workshop she sells anymore. But I'm sure, I mean, other companies, right? Like Stencil Girl, if Mary Beth Shaw has this particular tree, I'm sure they probably have other trees. Someone do a search on Stencil Girl and see. All right, now I can take a peek again. Oh yeah, that looks cool. I'm liking it. So what I'm going to do is dry this a little bit. And I think I'm going to go back in. I'll shift this over here. So I don't think. Let's see if I put some red over here. soften it with my baby wipe. I think we're going to dry it, and then I might go back in with the white again to add a little bit of white in other parts. Hey, Teresa? I was just saying, Teresa, I'm rooting for Kansas City now that the Jays are out. He can. Hey, Carol. A lot of it's craft paint, so it really does. What? Okay, it's dry. When you burn your hand. All right, let's see. I'll get a new baby wipe. Yeah, tell her what. Tell her where. All right, little bit of white. Again, I'm just using gesso. You could use white paint. I mean, a lot of times. Well, for this particular thing, white paint, white gesso is just as good. So again, little baby white action. Split Coast Stampers. Wow, that's a long time since I've heard that company. I'm not sure if all this black showing through is cool or not. I should probably like turn my baby wipe every once in a while. All right. So now I'm going to remove the stencil because I think I'm done with this particular one. Let's see what we got. So my dilemma, because I wish I had some of these as masks and not stencils. Yeah, I know it's an online community. It's just a long time. I haven't heard anybody. I didn't even know the website was open. It's been so long. That's all I'm saying. All right. Looks fun. Yeah. So if I had a stencil, you know, well, let's see. I do have. Let's try this before I get anything mucked up. Pecan. Hi, Lisa. Hey, Jen. I think so. If I had, okay, so this stencil from Mary Beth Shaw, if I put this on here, it doesn't really go with the theme, what I'm going to be doing next. Because it looks like, you know, if I put this here, we'd be right up on the tree, right? Like, I do need another tree, though. This one is more, you know, then this would be in the foreground, right? Which is perfect, it's what I need. But again, I don't need the mask, I need the stencil. So, what happens when you have a mask and not a stencil? I can always trace this if I wanted to. You can attempt you can attempt to put paint on the stencil, turn it around and stamp it. I've never really had any luck with that myself. So, you know, uh, if I were Dee Dee, I would just cut the dang thing out and stick the whole stencil down. Jean, I swear, I just don't have as much luck with that. I mean, um, I don't know why. I mean, I could ink up my jelly plate and see if I can stamp it in my journal, but that could be bad news. So another thing you can do is trace it. I could just trace this real lightly and then whatnot, but I think we're going to freehand it. I want something a little bit bigger like this, you know, so maybe I'll use this as my my reference. But you know what? I might be able to do what I want to do over on the... Okay, let's just go back and color our birds, and then we'll think about this. We'll think about this. Because, well, you'll see in a minute. You'll see in a minute. All right, so again, my wonderful friend Eileen sent me these, this wonderful Halloween card in an envelope that has a flamingo on it. Just saying. The girl who's scared of a flamingo not only owns flamingo stamps, but stamps with them. So the wonderful Eileen made me this beautiful card with Bird Crazy. This is a Tim Holtz made by Stampers Anonymous rubber stamp called Bird Crazy. There's about, I think, there's 6 of them maybe. And it has a little, you can buy the accessory set too, and there's dies and all that stuff. But so this is her little guy that she sent me, and she also sent me some that were, and I'll zoom in for this bad boy. Eileen's facing her fears. Okay. So I got these two little birdies she stamped, and they're on watercolor paper. And I do have, because, you know, everybody's an enabler. Well, you know what? I did buy these. I first saw these Zig Clean colors on, oh man. It was somebody that was doing art in her Hobonichi every day. I forget who it was now, what her YouTube name was. It was so long ago. But anyways, then all the girls started buying them, and then that was it, right? But what's cool about these Zig Clean Color markers is that it's a real brush. I mean, that's why they're called real brush. They're clean color real brush. But so the tips are really brushes. So it is Halloween. I'll get out some oranges and reds and greens. So I'm going to use Eileen's little guy as inspiration. Oh, you can't see him. I got my... Let me see if I can tilt my camera. Might not. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I got Eileen's card for some inspiration. And, you know, we'll get out some green and see where it goes. See what happens. Now, water brush pen. Water brush. I've got a few. Let's see, one of these tips. Here's the Kuretake one. It's got a tiny tip. This one's got a longer one, and this has got a thicker one. This is Sakura, the largest Sakura one. All right, so I'm just going to do it. See what happens. So I think one guy, and I'm using Eileen's as examples to know which way to go. So I guess with watercolor, you got to go light to dark, right? And you can see that these tips, I mean, they're fine. They're very, very fine brush. And so we'll just start up here, see what happens. I thought this was a dark green. Nope, light one. Oh yeah, you're supposed to go light to dark, right? So they say. But let me tell you, you can really get some detail in this. I have not, Patty was, the wonderful Patty Tully Parrish was just in earlier using her clean color markers in one of her coloring books. Now, if you go on YouTube, there's lots of people showing you how to use these bad boys. I am not the expert. I am the type that just wings it and, oh yeah, can you still see Eileen's card? I just kind of wing it and see what happens. So, you know, if you want experts, check out YouTube's. The fun thing about these birds is it does kind of have those hash marks to show you where it's going to be darker. But, you know, you don't always have to follow that stuff. His tail should be green, no? Is that a wing or a tail? Don't know. So let's take some water to it with a water brush. Again, this is a Kuretake one. So I'm just going to blend it out a little bit. And there's lots of different uses. Like I said, I am not the expert. This is actually the first time. I mean, I've tested them on stuff, but I haven't. And I probably used too much marker. I can tell by the blending you didn't need that much. I used too much. Setting his color, cover his belly all the way up. So Eileen, I like how Eileen has some orange on her belly. So I told you, Eileen, you would like this, no? Let's add a little bit of orange here and there. So as a lot of you know, I'm Canadian. And in Canada, candy corn is not that big of a thing. Well, if it is, it's not around here. But I'm going to draw some candy corn tonight, which should be interesting. I think I need to go back in with the green. I just colored that wing. You know, these markers aren't the cheapest markers out there, let's just say. But like I said earlier, you're paying for the tip of the brush, right? Let's go a little bit darker orange here on the beak. But the tip is just amazing. I mean, it's just, it really is fun to use. It's a real brush. It's like my secret book. It's a real napkin. Can you believe it? Again, these are just some creepy birds. Back to the water brush. I actually bought from Amazon about a month ago. I think I told you guys. I bought some new Kuretake water brushes. I bought one in all 3 sizes. But you know, everybody's got their favorite. I don't know if my mother's watching. I'm not sure she knows how. I got to get her into the thing, but she went to Michael's on, I'm calling her out. She went to Michael's with my sister on Thursday night and bought herself the 132 set of Prismas. So if you think I just enable you guys, I enable family too. It's not just you guys that suffer. So I think I have to get a little bit of black to just a marker here. to accentuate his pupil there. And maybe his legs. Although, it might be hard to cut. I might have to draw his legs later after I cut him out to use on the page. Well, that made his eye look kind of funny. This water brush. I know you can get the Kuretake water brushes at Jet Pens, and I know a lot of you guys, the US Americans especially, like Jet Pens. This Canadian is ticked off at them, just saying, because, you know, they wanted to charge me $40 for shipping for some pens. Well, a couple water brushes. There is no way. I mean, I used to get ginormous boxes from Blue Moon Scrapbooking with scrapbook stuff, and it wasn't $40 shipping. So how can you possibly have, like, that's just ridiculous. It's gouging. I expect as a Canadian to pay higher shipping, but $40 for some pens, that's ridiculous. I was so angry. Still angry. Angry is not the right word. I'm bitter. Dang it. Bitter. But, you know, some people love jet pens. But you can get any type of cool water brush. The Kuretake ones I got were right from Japan. I ordered them on Amazon. So, like, the packaging doesn't have any English or anything on it. Alright, let's see if we like this guy now. He needs a little bit more dark green. Do I have another darker green? I got the 20... Oh, I do have quite a few. I got the 24 set of these brush... and these are on my Amazon. So they're on my A store if you're... so you don't have to search too far for them. But there's other sets. I was good and only got the 24. So I'm just gonna add a little bit darker stuff around here, maybe down by his legs. My gosh, what is Simon watching? Is he watching a movie? And then again, blend it in with the... See, this is the Kuretake, and this is how tiny the brush is. So in comparison to the Kuretake nib, the clean color marker nib and the tiny Kuretake nib, it's just ridiculous. Thanks, Janet. Like I said, you know, I expect to be, but that's ridiculous. I tweeted at them, they never responded to me, so I'm still bitter about that. I said, okay, so I'll bring my business back to Amazon. Going back in with the water brush and just, so you see down here, I have his little legs, and I'm just going to blend it a little bit out. See? Can you see that? And paper matters, my friends. Thank you, Eileen, for stamping these on some watercolor paper for me. I need to wipe off my... Well, sometimes I don't have a tissue. I clean my brush on my hand. Let me blend under his eye a little bit. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. Truly. I'm just playing. So you can't be afraid because you don't know how to blend properly. In my opinion, like I tell myself, well, sweet goodness. If I don't practice, how am I ever going to know? Right? Alright. I think he looks pretty spooky. Eileen, you know what? I noticed that. Yes, Eileen says she used the back side of the cold press watercolor paper. What is this? About 120 pound? 90 pound, I mean? It's pretty thick. So there's one guy. And the other guy. So I think I'm going to do this guy opposite. So if, should I do this guy more red and green or red and orange? I'll do this guy red and orange and yellow. Let's see. Janet's birthday today? Wait a second. Let me take a little coffee sip and read the chat for a second. This is a Kuretake water brush. Excuse me for a second while we look at my brush. Hold on. I just have to just read outside my door. Simon, can you pass me my pencil case, please? Thanks. So I think I need another one of these to separate my markers from pencils. But so I bought some new ones, and Kuretake, which is why I wanted to show you this, because I have more than one water brush and sometimes more than one size in water brush. But these Kuretakes I bought on Amazon, and I probably mixed up the lids already. I guess it doesn't matter. So this is a new one of the small guy, medium, and large. This large one I haven't used yet. It's filled with water, but alright, there's the point. And so I was swatching my Inktense the other day, so this one is stained, but doesn't affect anything. Oh, your birthday's in a couple weeks. Phew! So see, you got small, medium, large. Those are Kuretake. But I also have, this is a Sakura. Oh, I didn't put the lid on right. Look, I got stray hairs. That's bad news. I think this is the large Sakura one. Koi. And kois can either come, there's not enough water in this bad boy. They come in big ones like this. Sorry, big, or they can come in the ones that are travel. And so this one is even, it's about the same size as the largest Kuretake one. And this one is another Sakura, but what I like about this one is different. See how it's a tiny tip, but it's long. See that? So if you see the smallest Kuretake versus, see how long this bad boy is? The brush? I love that one. That's one of my favorites. Because really, when I use water brushes, like lots of times it's just for filling something in, right? So again, that one's Sakura. Two Sakuras. Couple Kuretakes. I don't have any Pentel ones. That's one of the things that I wanted to buy at, there's a couple different, because, for research, I like to have different ones. Just to make sure. No, I've got so many water brushes. Which one was I using? This guy. Put these ones back in my bin. I do have a Tim Holtz one, like the big brush one, and anyway. Wanted to make that little detour. Let's go back to this. We're going to use red, orange, and yellow. I've got like a yellow-orange. Well, let's do a little bit of the yellow first. And Julie got a Pentel one in Japan. It has the flat barrel. Pentel. Yeah, can't. Is Linda here? Hi, Linda. It was good? Aw, that's wonderful. Good to hear. We knew it would go good. Go well, I should say. So I'll do a little bit of yellow as the lightest color and go work up into the dark. I'm telling you, you can get into some tiny spaces with these brushes. Alright, so a little bit of yellow. I'll go into the slightly darker orange. And like I said, because it already has the cross hatching over here, I can kind of cheat because I already know where the shadows are supposed to go. A little bit of there. This guy looks so worried. And then a tiny bit of the red. Let's see. I guess on the darkest on her. I don't know if these are girls or guys. What do you guys think? Wonderful, Linda. They're not scary? Well, it'll all make sense when you see my title, what my page is gonna say. Yeah, it's not. This isn't gonna be a spooky page. It's gonna be a Halloween kind of funny page. So again, I'm gonna work from light to dark like I would another watercolor, and then I'll blend it in here. A secret. Who's got a secret? I got a couple. One of them should be revealed next Saturday. I'm telling you, you won't want to miss that show. All right, I test it on my hand to see if it has enough water coming out. Let's see if I can bring this up. It's hard to do when it's right by your face, especially trying to do it. I probably didn't even need that second color, that orange. I can't do it like that, my friends. Not in a larger space like this. Hold the fort. I'll show you in a minute. Let's go. There's some. I don't have any tissues in my art room. I got some toilet paper from when I was sick. So you have to sometimes dab off onto a piece of paper like that, or like I said, my hand, because what happens is your water brush ends up picking up too much of the ink, and then it's just, rather than blending, it's just kind of pushing the ink around. Does that make sense? So you're not blending what's there, you're just moving ink. Well, I guess that's kind of what you know what I mean, Vern. You're moving more ink than you want, is what I'm trying to say. Because I do want to maintain some of these lights, right? Like if I didn't wipe it off and I tried to go right into this yellow here, it would just be all red. Again, I didn't learn from my first one. I obviously, again, used too much marker. I mean, that's how concentrated these bad boys are, right? All right, maybe I'll go back in with my darker green here, just where some of the darkest hatching is. Maybe around his eyes, because he sure does look worried. Or she. A little bit. Can't talk. Coloring. Oh boy. So you don't see green, it just kind of makes it a brownish, grayish color, I guess. Oh, better. I don't want that one to... These are called, I'll show you the box here in a second, Dar. They're called Zig Clean Color Real Brush. This one is 24 colors. It came right from Japan. That's why it's got those notes. But I think Jean has a 36. And I think, I'm not calling anybody out. Another one of our friends has 48. Hi, Travis. But you know, a 24 set. Let's look at how many shades of orange. Like I have 3 shades of orange. You know, I'm quite happy with that. But then here's the thing. I know how it works. I know how it works. It's just like my mom and her Prismas. She bought the 36 set, I think, a week ago, and then started to use them and love them, so then had to go out and buy the big one. So I know how it is, right? So for some of us, heck, if I could afford it, I would have bought the bigger set too, I suppose. All right, looks like she has a black eye. Go across here a little bit. All right. Do they look like they're talking to each other? Let's see. So back into the black pen. This is just a Papermate Flare. I just want to go around his beak in particular and his eyes. Or her. Still don't know. Maybe I might have to. And heck, you could, if you so inclined, you could absolutely draw your own. Was it our friend Kathy that drew her own? Somebody just recently was saying that they were drawing their own. All right, let's bring them up close. Yeah, I saw some open stock in Buffalo when we were at Buffalo Stamps and such, and that's where I first got my first two ones. My first two ones. My first ones. My first two. One or the other, not both, Paula. All right. So what do you think? Not bad, eh? Little watercolory. Tried to wish. Okay, so let's put these bad boys away. And I'm telling you, these are going to last a long time, in my humble opinion, because, well, the way I use anything. But mostly because you only need a tiny bit. Like, I probably used way too much. So thanks again, Eileen, for stamping them. She offered to stamp some before I, because you never know, before I bought the stamp set. So now I have to cut these bad boys out. This one guy looks more creepy. We might have to do... When I put him on his page, why I didn't want to darken his pupils more, Veronica, well, I'm going to have to add the white back in. I was so worried that it would just be all dark and I would lose that cast shadow in his eyes. This guy looks like Dracula. To me, anyways. Might do him a little bit later. The bag. The bag. Oh, Trina, but that bag, I showed you a link on... Well, I didn't have the link. Anne gave you that link that was on Joanne's, my pen bag. That was Dee that gave us that idea years ago. I just got mine at Michael's, but I know they sell a different one. They all kind of look the same, right? They still sell one like that. I'm not even sure it had a brand, to be honest. Is it Generations or something like that? So I'm gonna fussy cut this bad boy out. And usually I like to use my Fiskars, the ergonomic ones. I don't know where they are right now. But they look like this, but they're the small ones. They're my favorite for cutting rubber, to be honest. Colleen would be happy to know that I did find my Tim Holtz blower thing, marker blower. But anyways, they have tiny ones for these Fiskars that you only have to press down, right? So I can't cut this. But, you know, so when you're fussy cutting something, oh, it's so much easier. I have more than one pair, just don't know where they are. Alright, it's back to these cutter bee bad boys. I think I'm going to have to cut off his feet and paint them or draw them back on the page, because there's not a chance. It's not the exact same one, Trina, I don't think, but it's definitely one it's that type of bag. Know what I mean, Vern? I don't think it has a name on it. I bought it, for sure I bought it at Michael's, and for sure Michael's still has them here in Canada. Yeah, there's no name. Oh, that's heavy. Alright, back to this. Sorry, fussy cutting. And of course, my scissors probably aren't the sharpest, so bear with me here for a second. So like I said, this page might be going from cool, creepy cool, getting hot, take my shirt off, but it's, so I got a creepy cool background and then I got some cutesy birds, but I promise you'll like it in the end. I think I might have to cut his legs off too, because there's no way I'm cutting that open. So poor guy's not going to have any hands or feet, legs or claws. Can't even get into that corner. These scissors are so dull. Eileen, I apologize. I didn't see your message go by if you said this was not 120-pound cards, watercolor paper. And that's why, if you're into this, you know, if you're into this and you love Tim Holtz, and he has a set with Sizzix. Sizzix has a die set, a wafer thin die set. Sizzlets, or are they still call them Sizzlets these days, or Thinlets? Anyways, they have a die set that cuts this out for you so that you don't have to fussy cut it every time. 90-pound. Thanks, Eileen. All right, and some of these are going to have some white spots, so I might have to take an ink pad to it, or my black pen again, right? So see how there's white there? I might just have to go in with a black marker here and clean that up. Maybe not this thin of a marker. We should probably go to a scrolling brush or a brush marker. So when I say the other one's a brush, this is an old Zig scrolling brush marker, but they're just not the same. Watch. There's no, like, you know, there's a little give in this, but this is a synthetic brush. It's not like that one. It's absolutely, not that these aren't good. I've actually been using my old Stampin' Write markers in my coloring books a lot recently. So I'm just edging him a little bit. To get rid of any of the white. Although, who knows? Because my background is dark, I might have to go back around them when I put them on the page with a little white too. Hi, Cheryl. That's dedication, my friend. Jen's getting some pens? Birds? I know Jen didn't, the other day was saying that she didn't want them. These bird stamps. And how many are there? I think there's 6, right? 6. When you buy the stamp set, I believe that there's 6. Alright, this tail's going to be bad news. It's going to be tricky. Gotta be done, my friends. Gotta be done. It's pretty hard, for me anyways. It's hard to color something once it's already fussy cut. So, it takes time. Especially when your scissors are dull. Good thing these bad boys only cost like $2 at Dollarama. I don't know why. I'm not sure if they still have them there, but I'm gonna have to do his little curlies. His little hairs. Stray, well, I guess they're not hairs. I guess they're stray feathers up here. This guy almost looks like a pumpkin now. All right. Again, I'm just gonna take the black. Thanks, Veronica. That has individual dots and stands up and fold up. I think I might have just what you're wanting, Carol. When I bought my Crop and Style XXL years ago, it came with a marker thing. I have my old Marvies in there. I can get it here in a second. All right. Isn't he cute? They are pretty cute, these birds. They are pretty cute. Okay, let's move this stuff. We might do that other guy later, but I'm not sure. Bring back the art journal page. My guys over here. So I have this. Well, I don't know if this stands. It should. So this came. All right, everybody. No laughing at me. When I first started stamping, Marvy made these brush markers. I don't know if they still make them now. Anyway, this came with the Crop and Style XXL tote. Sorry, let me go back out now. And I don't know how much this holds, but see, it has a slot for every one. These Marvy brush markers are hilarious. Now these are brush markers. These used to be refillable. Let me see if this one still works. What do I have? Oh, Eileen's thing here. Oh, that's bad news. I guess I have to throw out these bad boys. But you were supposed to be able to add some water into it, and then they worked again. No, I'm telling you, my friends, these are old. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. I think I just have to add some water to these bad boys, and I can start coloring again. These weren't cheap markers, but see how it has a thing here? So look, because it's a triangle, Carol, you can stand it up. See what I mean, Vern? And I'm telling you, but then you can fold it up afterwards. Anyway, that was sidetracked again. Okay, so this... I need to do one more tree. Okay, so I need to draw a tree over here, or paint a tree, I suppose. I got to wipe some of this off my palette here because I'm going to add some black. Ranger ink refresher. Ranger makes perfect ink refresher. You know what? I got some of that somewhere, Pam. Hi, by the way. Now, I don't know if they have any of those anywhere, but so they have stuff like that out there is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I might have to freehand this bad boy, which kind of scares me because, you know, but I think why it's, let me rephrase that. Lots of times why it scares me is because I'm too, you know, I don't use a reference when I should be. When I should be. But I definitely need another one. Need another tree to do what I want to do. Although this one, I mean, let's think. If I put this guy down here and I put this guy up here, it might, see, I'm talking to myself now. You know what? It actually just might work like that. Okay, it's gonna work. All right. What I need to do, I didn't know if anybody answered. I didn't look up if anybody answered about the candy corn. Candy corn in Canada. This is just a piece of paper out of a Canton Mixed Media Journal. Candy corn in Canada is not popular. Not well, not here anyways. But I do want to make this guy. Oh my goodness, hiccuping. A candy corn nest. So I do have my phone here. I'm gonna bring up a picture of some candy corn. So I think it's like a triangle, right? So look, I got some candy corn. So let's see. I mean, candy corn just rounded triangles, right? So let's just have at it. And I'm leaving the bird there to kind of see, you know, how much. But I did watch, I don't know if anybody else watches the Food Factory or on the HGTV. And I did watch one. To be honest, for those that are new here or new to me, I used to be for many years a safety and quality manager in a box plant, and so if I watch shows, that are factory shows like that, how it's made, um, I can't help but look at safety infractions, and it just drives me nuts. Or, food quality type of infractions. So I really actually try not to look at them very often, but I did see that they were made by Jelly Belly. These candy corn. Maybe one guy's gonna go that way. And yeah, I'm gonna color these bad boys with those markers too. I don't know why I put them away. This is gonna be some wonky nest, my friends. Wonky nest. So I guess they're just like jelly beans, right? White tips, orange in middles, and yellow ends. Yeah. Candy corn has chocolate on the bottom instead of white. All right, you think that's a big enough nest for him? This is gonna be a shoddy. This is definitely a sketchy look. I'll tell you that. Oh well. Just the colors will make them look real. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I've to be honest, I've never tried it. But if it's just jelly beans, then it can't be all that bad, right? It is gonna be a shifty nest, my friends. All right. Oh my goodness. I know it's supposed to be really pointy, but these ones are irregular. Irregular. The colors, colors are going to dictate, they're going to show what they are anyways, right? And some of these are upside down. So if you're seeing that, like this one, it's going to be upside down. So I'm going to lay down all the yellows first. Where's my markers gone? And then I'm going to lay down the orange. And then I'm going to leave the white white. So the bottoms, all the bottoms are going to be yellow. Let's see. This one's a bottom. And I got to be careful because I was not smart and didn't use a permanent pen to draw these. So I'm going to be careful. Oh, that's bad news. It's really pulling it in. Alright, I won't be using those markers. I'm going my tip. Good thing Simon brought me my pen bag. I'm going to use an old Stampin' Up. Well, there's Zig Writer. If I'm gonna mess up a marker, I'm gonna mess up an old one. In fact, I might have to go over with some paint because this is bad news. This is bad news, my friends. So let's everybody remember this lesson. Don't use... Oh, that's bad news. I'm gonna have to go over this with paint. Rats! But I'm a sucker like that, so I'm gonna take the orange. I'm gonna see how it looks once I add the orange, and then maybe we'll have to... You can tell me if it looks too bad. Can we get away with it? I'm feeling a little hot. I think you guys are putting me under pressure. I'm under pressure here drawing candy corn nest. But what was I just gonna say? Next week here in Canada, it's gonna be 18 degrees this week coming. Sorry if that was loud. That's like 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It's craziness. I mean, it's -1, and it goes back up to 18. Crazy. All right. Does it even look like a candy corn nest, my friends? Does it even look like candy corns? Let's put the guy on it. Does it? Can you even tell? Well, let's just cut it out. Not much else. I'm not going to redo the whole thing. I might add a bit of paint to it, but I'm definitely not going to redo the whole thing anyways. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? It's just some candy corn. Don't know why I'm worried about it. The orange section is usually wider. Okay, we can color more so that there's less of a white tip. You guys are the experts. I gotta listen to those that eat candy corn. All right, a little bit wider. Okay. Oh, one more fussy cut. And why did I... Oh, I know why. Because I had this guy there. I'm like, why did I do it right in the middle of the piece of paper? When I'm fussy cutting something small like this, lots of times I cut it out, you know, because sometimes when you have all this extra stuff, it's too hard to fussy cut when you have a ginormous paper, right? So... Well, it's definitely sketchy looking. Sketchy meaning, I'm not sure if sketchy as in art or sketchy as in it's shifty looking. Wait till you guys. Oh, I can't wait to do the title on this. I think you guys are gonna have a good laugh. I hope so. It's actually going. What time is it? 10, 11? It's an hour and a half we've been doing this. It's actually faster than I thought. I mean, I guess it depends on how, elaborate I want to go. I could put gravestones on that page or, more trees. All right. There's his nest. Her nest. Their nest. I'm laughing at myself, my friends. I'm giggling at my candy corn nest. Writing shitty candy corn. Hey, Mickey. Everybody's talking about candy. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Pretty good. And you know what? This is where I should add some sparkly something. Right? I want glitter marker. Ooh, no, that's not the right color. Let's see. I bought those Crayola ones I told you guys. Thanks to my mother. So these are glitter markers. And there are 6. I think they're $5 Canadian. So look, I've got this yellowish one. Let's see if we can make them a little bit sparkly, dark, sparkly on here. Just maybe where that yellow is. And these are opaque. I mean, they work on dark. Well, maybe not opaque's not the right word. But they are awesome. Now, I was saying the other day that if you have them in an art journal page or your my recording, oh, not again. Please don't tell me that, Jean. It's still counting, but let's hope. Let's hope. Now I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. So if you use them in your coloring books or whatnot, the glitter, the shimmer, does transfer a little bit. So my mom was showing me a page that she colored with them, and then the next page has some gleamage on it. I like to say a little gleamage. So here's a little. Can you see sparklies? I don't know if that's clear or not. Okay, let's put these off for a second. Yeah, I actually am enjoying coloring with the, I've had these Stampin' Writers for a long time, same as these Zig markers. But let me tell you, Zig products, I am 99% sure that Stampin' Up! Markers are Zig markers. I mean, they use the exact same packaging. Packaging's not the right word. But anyway, they last a long time. So, I've already lost my other guy. Oh, there he is. Don't want to lose him. So I got my candy corn. Got my other guy. Back to the page. So I think actually I need to clean this bad boy up a bit because I gotta zoom back out. Oh my goodness. Ustream. Thank you, Ustream, for being free. All right. Okay. This over here doesn't look so hot. Know what I mean, Vern? Like over here is so bright, and then what the heck is this over here? I might have to add the dark back into there. I might have to add some dark back into there. I think. Go back in with some black. I need to clean up the bottom here too. All right, so this guy is his nest over here. And we might have to go around him with white or something, right? I definitely think I need to add some black back into the background. What do you guys think? Okay, first I'm gonna get some black. We're gonna fix the bottom here a little bit. Here we go again. What's right here? So, well, the moon, I was thinking about the moon too. I'm not sure where the moon is in this night sky. Or if it's just becoming dusk or what. I'm not sure. I don't know if I put them, so because it's backlit by orange, maybe I need to add more yellow back over here. Let's finish this with black. I wouldn't even know shadow-wise, like where the moon would be. I didn't even consider a moon at the beginning. Where do you guys think? I'm sure you guys will all... Well, just wait, Eileen. Just wait, Eileen. Sweet goodness. No patience. I mean, it would be cool. I mean, I could put some gravestones over here, right? Like in the dark. Well, this has got so much water on it. Hold the fort. What the devil? Why is it so watery? It's not the right brush, but you know. That's a tiny gravestone. Got maybe one that's fallen over. And tombstone. No, Debbie. When you just hold the fort. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away. But I promise there's a method to my madness. There's a method to my madness. Okay, so over here, did we say anything about the moon? Big orange moon on the top left. You think that could be a moon? Would that affect the way that this lighting is? Like, I don't know if lighting's the right word. All right, let me just put a little bit of black. I think I want to add some black back in there. Oh, that's white. Or maybe some white. I don't know. I guess that's just not as vibrant because we didn't have as much white over there. You know, but I'm not a Halloween expert. Oh, I wish I had a witch. Maybe I'll have to do a witch in the sky. Flying across the sky over there. I hope I wasn't being mean, Debbie, or rude. I just want to say I have a plan and it's funny. I'm just like, we gotta stick the pinky out when we spounce. Oh, getting a little red in there. That's bad news. Don't want that necessarily. I need a little bit more black, I think. A little bit darker over there. What do you think? Whoop, not even in camera. Pretty good, eh? Half decent. Night, Elizabeth. Well, that's what I thought, Janet, right? It implies that the moon is behind there somewhere. That's what I thought, too. That's what I meant, like. Or the sun setting. I don't know. It looks cool. I'll just leave it like that. Right? What do you think? Looks pretty good? I really agree with Jean and Janet. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to glue my guys on. Let's see. I don't know if Aline's tacky glue will hold these bad boys. I think I need to bust out the... Well, I'm sure they would, but you know. Well, I guess I don't have much to use. Much else. Oh yeah, I forgot because I didn't buy any more. I like Scotch Quick Dry, but it's impossible to find here other than Michael's, and it's not cheap. So I got some Fast Grab tacky glue. Let's see how well that works. All right, so I'm gonna glue his nest. Oh no, I need to glue him down. So his nest is gonna be like that. So this is thick stuff, my friends. Oh, I'm not even on camera. Thick stuff. Sticky business. Like I said, I might have to do some type of white something on the outside so that he pops up from the page. Maybe you guys have some ideas. I mean, I guess it depends. Like, you could go nuts. I could start writing in the tombstones. I can add witches and bats and who knows what else. Slide him up a little bit. Good thing it doesn't grab as quick as it says it grabs. I did have a chance to move it a little bit. See, it doesn't quite go in, so I might have to go back around him with some, you know, outline it in black or something. What do you guys think? This guy will stand out like crazy. Sticky stuff. Jean put it into an older Scotch bottle though, so he had a smaller bottle to hold and squeeze. Oh, the extra grab tacky? Thanks, Jean. That's a good idea. Put in a different bottle. Alright, I'm going to put him right here. Or her, I guess. Alright. Now I need some speech bubbles. So I'm gonna, this is just, oh, I gotta worry about what's wet and what's not on here. Or maybe I'll just move it to the side for a second. Night Sin. Put that there for a second. So I'm gonna take a look though. I guess I don't want it too big. Right. I'm looking for the other one. Gosh, that looks less like a speech bubble and more like a leaf. I'll have to test it out here, see if it's the right size. Again, like, why would I draw something right in the middle of the page? Isn't that silly? So, I am going to be writing not a bad word, but something that insinuates a bad word. So, just a warning, if that stuff is sensitive to you, or I don't want to offend anybody, just a fair warning. All right, let's see if this works. Got one speech bubble up there. This guy, well, it's going to have to be right there. All right. Before I do that, I think I need to ink my edges. Boy, I'm so into this page, I've been barely drinking any coffee. Has anybody noticed that? Oh, that's bad news. Oh, yikes. Sorry about that. I still got ink the edges. That's just me. And once I do the speech bubble here, maybe then, so everybody sees what I'm doing, then we can decide if we want to add anything else or whatnot. I'm going to ink the speech bubble a little bit. Maybe I should have made them bigger. Before I stick them down, you guys can tell me if I need them bigger. Or what. No, it's not going to be bleep. Yeah, exactly, Sherry. And I gotta draw his legs. Don't let anyone forget me to draw his legs or it'll just be floating up there. He'll just be floating. So I'm gonna use my own handwriting. Everybody ready? What pen am I gonna use? I think this is funny, but you know, I crack myself up lots of times. So. Oh, right. I think I just put my finger in. I'll show you in a second. You may have seen this meme before. Meme? Meme. So, this guy's saying, I cracked myself up. Oh boy. That's why he's hanging off. Because he's bending a tree branch. I saw it on a meme. Just like a simple picture, not like all this, right? And it wasn't even a Halloween theme, but I thought, oh, this guy's eating candy on Halloween. That's perfect. Oh boy. Well, the meme didn't say flock, but then I thought, oh, those birds are perfect, and you know our whole inside joke on flocking. So, because I thought, you know, anybody that's trying to eat healthy around Halloween. And I thought it was perfect. This bird's a little thinner than this chubby guy. So I thought it's perfect. I'll show you the original meme on my phone here, then you can see how I turn something like that into my own art. So I'll try to cover up on my phone the bad word. It wasn't flock. The nest makes sense, see? And you know what? Maybe I should draw some candy corn like falling on the ground here, or then I thought wrappers or something of um of candy, but it would be so tiny because these birds in relation to the birds, it might be too. Okay, so let's draw his feet before I forget. His legs, so he's not. And well, she doesn't need her legs. I don't know if it's she or he, guys. Don't. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's just a little fun. It has nothing to do. No, there's no guilt or no judgment here. It's just a little joke. It's just a little joke. So here's the. But see, that's the thing, right? When you're looking, see, when I look at Instagram, I saw this on Instagram on a fitness page. Um, like don't just think of these memes as whatever, or if you're on Pinterest, like to copy, like you got to think of how can, okay, so this bird, so here's just this, right? That's how simple it is. It says, how's your diet doing? Or they put doing, I put going. Anyway, and then she says, flock you. But see how the branch is really tipped down? And this is so simple, right? But I thought, ooh, those birds. So take something simple of like those things that you see and implement that, get your imagination going on how you can implement it into an art journal page or your mixed media art or cards or whatever you're working on in a different way, right? Enhance it. I think it's hilarious. Yeah, it didn't need any more trees, that's right. Candy corn on the ground, Cheryl thinks. And you see he's got a little. That tree actually worked out perfect because it already had a branch that was tipping down. Oh, I thought it was good. But I cracked myself up. So do you guys think that I need to, all right, to help that pop out a bit? Well, I need some splots anyways, right? I gotta have splots. Just like the other page, I'll go back to this one. Because this guy doesn't really stand out so much. What do you guys think? Because, for me, the scariest part of Halloween is the candy. But no judgment, just a little fun. Should be like, rest in peace, M&Ms. That's what I should do. Where's my white pen? Yeah, this could be fun. I'm trying to find a white pen that works. Oh no, this is the clear glaze pen. I might have to do that later because my paint markers are. So candy corn. I'll probably have to draw the candy corn later. There's no way that I can. Not any way, but I'm not gonna put you through watching me color tiny candy corns again. But if you remember on this page where we used the tree by Mary Beth Shaw Stencil Girl, see how I have the yellow flicks? I like that. So I might do that again. Or should it be white? I should probably go back to white, eh? What do you guys think? Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful, Debbie? Debbie says that feud needs to rest in pieces. Pieces. That's a good one. Oh boy. So, what do you guys think? Because I love how, and this is the little tool that Jane gave me. I'm not sure if I saw Jane tonight. But anyway, um, it needs splatters. So, who votes for white and who votes for yellow? Jean's not allowed to vote because she'll say no splats. And I really need to figure out what I'm going to do over here, guys, because don't you think he blends in too much? What do you think? Yeah, so Jane gave me this little splatter brushy thing. I call them splots. Some people call them splats. Some people call it splatters. I say splots because to me it's between a drip and a splat. A drop and a splat. So this is just from a broom that my friend, one of my friend Jane made. She just got a broom from the dollar store, one of the plastic ones. And I think they sell brushes that look like that, but I mean, they're pretty cheap. Cover the graves. Cover the birds. How am I going to cover the birds? I might do a little bit of white, a little bit of yellow on top then. Cover the birds. Trying to figure out what I had all those scraps. What did I do with them? I'll probably throw them in the garbage. The one time, right? You need something. Alright, I'm just gonna cover it like this. Cover this guy like this. I need to pop. But how am I gonna pop them out? Oh, you mean pop out? Like actually, white with a little yellow? Best of both worlds? Why not? I forget what I was gonna say. Alright, how am I gonna do with these birds? I guess I'll just have to add some shadow in the back, right? Just add some. Alright, so I got a little bit of white just so you can't see it now, a little bit of yellow paint, and I'm gonna spray it with some water here. It's hard to spray upside down, Paula. Still need some more water. I'm gonna move my journal for a second. I'll try not to go crazy with the splots, but it's whatever your taste is. I love the splots. I love the splatter, but that doesn't mean you do, so you don't have to. Right? I always say, like, I love the look of an inked edge in my journal, every page. I have since I was in scrapbooking days, but if you don't, that's not your style, don't do it. All right, let's try over here. I think that's just enough, eh? As I continue to go. But I think that's just enough. What do you guys think? What year did I give up chocolate like that? Oh, what year did I start losing weight? I don't know, but these I gotta do it again. The medication. I mean, I blame the medication. I know I've been eating like crap, but the past month and a half or so I've been on this new medication. I've gained like 20 pounds. It's ridiculous. So I've got to do something about it. I got a doctor's appointment on Thursday. I haven't weighed this much in 3.5 years. So I gotta fix right this train. Oh, wonderful, Patty. I'll have to look for it on Twitter. All right, let me put this to the side for a second so I can use up the rest of this paint here. Where can we put it? And then I'm going to shadow the birds. Oh, I gotta be careful what I show in this book. I got to shadow the birds, I think. That'll help them pop out. Oh boy, there's some crusty bits on that. Crusty bits on this paint scraper. Oh boy, blobs. I should just wipe that up and call it a night. This is. I don't like wasting paint, but sometimes, you know, when you got a booger like that, that's just bad news. We will give up on that and get out the baby wipe. Yeah, we'll have to do it again now. Exactly. But anyways, it's a sad state of affairs over here. And plus, I guess I'm ashamed of it too, right? That I gained a bit of weight back, but I have to change. Enough's enough. All right. So let's see how I can shade this guy. Now, should I use a marker? Let's try the black Kiritaki clean color marker and then just blend it out with a water brush. Oh yeah, I won't forget the alcohol ink on the Seth After stencil. I think this is black. Do these have names on them? I just thought about it. That's gray. That's not black, it's gray. Maybe gray might be fine anyways. There's brown, probably I could use any of those colors. But if I'm black. Right, Lisa? A charcoal pencil? Well, you know what I always say, I just kind of use when I'm doing my art journal like this, there's time you just got to use what's around you, right? For me anyways, if I don't, then I'm like years ago when I scrapbooked, it was all about, for me, it's like, oh, I got to have the right embellishment on the right paper. Like I was paralyzed lots of times by making sure it was perfect like that. And in my art journal, I've been trying to be, or I have always tried to be a little bit more free. And just, you know, rather than looking for the perfect solution or the perfect product, to use what was around me instead. Maybe I'll get one of the bigger brush. I'll use this bigger Sakura. Oh, I know, Rain. It's just ridiculous. It's just creeped up too, you know. I don't know. All right. So again, I used way too much black. This, and then I went right over my candy corn. Way too much black. Where's that piece of toilet paper? I don't know if this is better or worse. One better, two worse. But you know, like one of my mottos in life anyways is, you know, I like to say, I've done it before, I can do it again. It's not the end of the world. The thing is, for me anyways, is knowing when to stop, right? I have to recognize, okay, I've gained way too much weight, I don't feel good, my clothes don't fit right anymore. It's time to, rather than just giving up and going, you know, all the way back. But because I put that little, I don't know, I probably shouldn't even put a shadow on this side, right? Because technically, if that's where the moon is, then the shadow wouldn't be around there, right? All right. But you think I have to outline this guy? Or you think he's okay? I'm just going to keep trying to add water to this to see. I think I should, if I just keep brushing at it and dabbing it, almost all that black will lift up, right? I don't want to smudge the guy though. I mean, what do you guys think? This side too? Stick on another candy corn and call it a day? One guy down here? I'm just wondering, right? If I shadow this guy, they'll have to shadow the other guy. So I just put a little on the back. Where did it go? Where'd my pen go? Already back in the case, of course. Just a little bit maybe on this. I gotta be careful. Some of these spots aren't dry. Just a little bit there. This time I just put the tiniest bit. I don't even know if you can see it. See what I mean? Like how much that, can you tell? These are really, like, you only need a tiny bit. I try not to get acrylic paint on them, so I should have done this when the stuff wasn't dry. Just a little shadow. Later, I think, like Janet says, I'll date it. Maybe I'll like now. I have all this black on the bottom, this empty black paint. I mean that I can, um, that I can use my white. I've got Sakura white pen. I've got they're all by the couch though. I don't think there's one in here. Hold on. This is the thing that I've been keeping some of my, no, that's pink, planner stuff in. Like I was saying, I think last week or Wednesday on stream, I've just got things all over the place. No, they're all in the living room. I'll do a little shadow behind the graves here. But yeah, I'll probably, I'm definitely going to write a few things on the graves like you guys suggested. I think that's funny. And date it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just a little fun. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was a good way to use these crazy birds. Yeah, I'll take a picture and of course post it on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all that goodness so that you can see the finished product. I'm going to ink. Well, this is probably too small of a marker. Let's go back to my Zig brush marker. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Something a little different for me anyways. That's for sure. It was definitely, I sure enjoyed it. I thought I had a good laugh. And hope it inspires you to, look for inspiration for your art journals in other places. And then, customize it to what let it inspire you and give you ideas on what you can do in your own journal with the supplies that you already have. Thanks, Judy. Thanks, Linda. Thanks, Paige, and everybody. So go a little bit close so you can see the coloring of my birdies. It actually goes pretty well with the background, though. Maybe I should have, you know, colored him green too. And I guess I could add green, more green to him, her, him, green to the bird as well. Thanks, Trina. Night, Jen. All right, so I'll see everybody on Wednesday, same time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget, next Saturday, we've got big things going on. I'm so excited. Can't even. Oh, it's so hard to keep the secret, but I've been really good. Thanks, Janice. All right, I'll see everybody on the internets. And I hope you have a wonderful lesson. Yeah. All right. I hope you guys liked in something a tiny bit different. Little bit of paint, little bit of imagination, some cute birds. Thanks again, Eileen, for the bird. Couldn't have done this page without these crazy birds. All right. Night, Janet. Night, everybody. Oh, the alcohol page. Yes, Cindy. Rats. All right. So this is a Seth Apter stencil from Stencil Girl. Let's see what happened. Well, not too much. I might not have used enough blending solution, but I think the problem is I had too much going on already. Not terrible. It's not dry yet either. You can see some of the stuff. Right? You can see some of it. And I think it would be cool to, if we went back with the Seth After stencil, I just took it off. Like, come on. Where did I put it? I just took it off, for crying out loud. I'm losing it. It's it's right here. Oh my goodness. Maybe going the other way. Is this this is upside down? Right. Bust out some black. I don't know where my black spray is right now. What would happen if I sprayed white dilutions on it? So much for leaving. You guys. I got some distress spray right here, but I don't think it's the black. After mint. Oh, we could use some dark purple. I don't want to go under the desk to get my other sprays. I don't want to tempt that white. I need to soak it. I'm going to use some after midnight and see what happens. I think Seth Apter has some new stencils too that would go really cool on something like this. Oh boy. I'm just making a more hot mess. Okay, it's definitely time to go. Look at that. Didn't even show up. This is tricky. This page was just, I don't know, a struggle from the start. But I guess it's the first page. The first time you try it, you gotta learn, just like anything, you gotta learn how much ink to put down. Well, that's kind of cool texture, whatever happened there. Boy, oh boy, this is some hot mess. Now it's just a disaster. I need to stop, put this away, call it a night. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, Travis, I need to drink more coffee on this one. I need to drink more than coffee. Man, I need to add white. Anyway, let's end it on a high note with that nice or the ones that the other ones we did with stencils. Let's end it with that. Drink some alcohol, Paula. Oh boy, oh boy. But I mean, I can go over that with the black paint, but that's a hot mess. Now, anyway. All right, night, guys.